What's up everyone, this is the JRPG Beast, back with another theory video for y'all today. Before we dive into it, I just want to remind everyone that I stream over on Twitch playing Final Fantasy and other JRPG classics, so if you want to come hang out and talk theories, the link will be down in the description. So today we're going to be looking at the last of the Cetra. Throughout the main Final Fantasy story, both OG and Remake, we were led to believe that Aerith is the only remaining Cetra. We know that she's actually half Cetra, with her father being Professor Gast. I'd like to consider that she might not be the only remaining with Cetra blood. This theory goes on that Marlene Wallace may have some Cetra heritage. Now, I'm not speculating that she's even close to Aerith, maybe not even being a half, but is it possible that she could maybe have 10%? We know very little about her parents, and really that's only about Dyne, with no word on her mother other than a name. I doubt Dyne would be the one that would carry on the Cetra bloodline. But what about her mother? There's a line that Dyne says specifically that is somewhat interesting in favor of this theory, or it could be just kind of a major pull. During Barrett's confrontation with Dyne in the Coral prison, he asks Barrett if Marlene wants to see her mother again. Now, obviously he was referring to killing Marlene, but this is really the only time anyone mentions about seeing someone after death. We know that the bodies return to the live stream after death. We also see that, at least in the case of Aerith, she is able to retain her form. Could this be something exclusive to the Cetra? Possibly, if you believe that the Promised Land is something Cetra achieve after death. Or the mother carries the bloodline without even being aware of it. I find it really hard to believe that the Cetra are 100% wiped out after Aerith's death. Now, moving along with this theory, we're going to look at the remake closely. When Aerith goes in to save Marlene from the plate collapse, we have a really interesting scene where it looks like as if Aerith is showing Marlene something, or perhaps sharing things with her mentally. We see Aerith do things similar with Red 13 later. There are theories about Red 13's race sharing at least some similarity to the Cetra, at least according to Professor Hojo. So maybe Aerith can only do this with other Cetra or other Cetra-like beings. Once this exchange happens, Marlene begins to calm down as if she was told or shown something very important. Later, after the plate falls and Barrett is reunited with Marlene, she starts to mention something about Aerith, but pulls back as if to not reveal too much. Finally, going back into OG Final Fantasy VII, during the end cutscene, we focus quite a bit on Marlene specifically. As Meteor is crashing down and Holy awakens, she mentions the Flower Girl, accompanied by a tidbit of Aerith's theme. Then, before the livestream comes to rescue, she says, "It's coming." Things that, for whatever reason, Marlene shouldn't know, or Marlene should have no insight to. She's only a 4-year-old girl. My theory is that Marlene has a small amount of Cetra blood in her, and with Aerith comes into contact with her, she's able to awaken some of those Cetra abilities. Tap into some of her powers, like carrying the planet, etc. But she was also around her full Cetra mother that could have taught her things. Taught her how to open up, taught her how to feel different things like that. Maybe all Marlene needed was Aerith to awaken those dormant Cetra powers. Looking towards Advent Children, which I'm not going to show clips of due to Sony already trying to issue a copyright strike on my other theory video with footage from that movie, but we see that Marlene really resembles Aerith in terms of just her hair, her mannerisms, and her already trying to care for the flowers and kind of take over that role. Obviously, she's meant to be more of an homage than anything, but Marlene plays a pretty large role in that story. She's even the narrator. Final Fantasy VII deals a lot in legacies, as seen with Cloud and Zack and Sephiroth. What if Marlene is meant to carry on the legacy of the Cetra? It would be a fitting way to carry on everything Aerith stood for, and honestly, it only feels right coming from someone that shares some of that Cetra bloodline. Well, anyway guys, that is it for this theory. Let me know what you think about it down below. Am I crazy? Do you have thoughts about this particular theory? Or is there any other theory you'd like me to take a deep dive at? Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you next time.